Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the Austin Claunch virtual press conference today, coming off the holiday. The Roadrunners are coming off a week in Troy, Alabama, and a win over Merrimack, with Houston Christian coming to the Convo on Saturday. I'll go ahead and let Coach jump in and talk about the week behind us and what we're looking forward to over the next few days.
Yeah, thanks. Obviously, a week where we did some good things. Certainly in the last couple of minutes of the Merrimack game. But then also a week where, it was good to get sort of two games back to back where we have 80 minutes that we can really watch and dissect and figure out where we're making mistakes. We got to play a lot better. Obviously it's great. That being said, it's great to learn and teach. After a win, I think part of a growing program is learning how to win when you don't play your best basketball. Now, obviously, got to credit Merrimack and Troy. Obviously, losing the Troy game, certainly, we broke that film down on, I guess that would have been Tuesday. Came out, started the game great against Merrimack. Sometimes those double-digit early leads can be tough because you're not gonna just dominate, very rarely, a good program for 40 minutes. They're gonna make a run, and then we made a run, and in that second half, they threw a punch, and it sort of looked like, hey, we're on the ropes here, and just I was really proud of the resiliency and just commitment to playing the next play for our team. And so to finish that game the way we did, I can't remember a time where I've been a part of a comeback like that. And so certainly to be sitting here now, coming off a win, coming back to the Convo, we're excited about tomorrow.
Go ahead, Jerry. Get started.
Yeah, Coach, congrats on the win again. I wanted to see if I could just ask you, your two standout players, Primo and Joe Smith, were just incredible in that game. Can you kind of dissect, how they made that happen out there?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been a part of a 20 rebound game. I can't. I've been trying to think of it over the last couple of days. I thought Joe's energy, and again, just he was relentless. Regardless of circumstance, going after the ball offensively and defensively when a shot was taken, and then to step up and make some big buckets as well down low. He played through some physicality. Was really happy for him to be back in his home state, with some family there and played the way he did. Obviously, he won, again, the Texas tough hat for us with just his, rebounding, deflections, block shots, the way he pursued the ball. Really happy for Joe, and we need him to keep coming and playing that way. And then Primo, just as a senior leader there, started the game really well. Again, the way Merrimack plays, they go on runs and you get in rhythm against a zone, and then it's easy to get out of rhythm against a zone. I thought we did some good things. I think we also need to add a couple of things in case we do get stagnant, the next time we see a team that plays primarily zone. But certainly proud of the way he stepped up to finish the game the way he did. Just showed incredible leadership and poise, and certainly I think that's, listen, we got a lot of work to do, but I think it's wins like those and plays like those that can give your team the confidence to start turning the corner and head in the right direction.
Go ahead, Sean.
Coach, you lead the nation in steals right now. How have you been able to be so disruptive, and how will that help you as you try to grow your defense?
Do we really? I didn't know that. That's great. We do emphasize, not necessarily gambling or, playing too chaotic, but we do want to disrupt and get our hands, on passes and balls, when they're driving it. Certainly that's something that for me, it's an important stat is leading the turnover battle. Now, we're turning it over way too much on our offensive possessions. But to at least have half of it down, with, I think we're top 50 or 60 in turnover percentage defense right now, which is great. That puts us in the top 15, 20%, somewhere around there. Well, we want to be in the top 10, so we got a little ways to go. But that's great. That's obviously something that we, if you've been to our practices, know that we, are calculated in how we go about doing that, and we need to continue to get better at it.
Jerry, jump back in.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask about the end of the Merrimack game. Joe made that last free throw, put y'all up by 3. Did your guys know instinctively that you wanted to foul right there immediately, or did you have to, were you yelling out at them to make sure they remembered to do that?
Well, we've got most of those guys out there. I mean, we have a pretty older group that have been through a lot of these situations. Of course, as well, these are things that you obviously practice throughout the course of preseason and how you want to do it and your terminology and when you want to do it. And it was great for us to be able to execute it. I mean, we called our last timeout with about 8 minutes left, so we didn't have a timeout in that situation. So for our guys to get organized enough and understand, hey, we want to foul and not allow them to get a 3 up. I was certainly proud of our group to be able to do that because we'll be in that situation again. I mean, throughout the course of the year, a lot of these games are going to be, nip and tuck, and they're going to come down to late game execution. So for us to be able to do that and then secure the rebound, really happy with our group.
Go ahead, Sean.
You spoke a little bit about Janivius's play against Merrimack, but what has he brought to your team overall, both on the court and from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, another guy that's older and has been through a lot of Division I games and experiences. From an X's and O's standpoint, I mean, just obviously his energy is hard to miss when you're watching our team. And he's an elite shot blocker. He's someone that I'm still encouraging and trying to get him to get more threes up. He's 2 for 2 on the year. He has an incredible touch from the outside. He has a unique knack, to kind of get to his spots even from the mid-range when he catches it in the mid-post. And then, as a guy off the court, if you've ever been around our team, Joe is somebody that's, always, around talking to people, always has a smile on his face. And so, he brings a lot of things that I think are important when you're talking about building a winning culture and winning games. It's not just all about you see the 20 rebounds, but there's a lot more that goes into that every single day. So really proud of Joe and the direction he's headed in, and we need him to keep going.
Back to Jerry.
Hey, Coach, what do you know about Craig Doty? I see he's got 3 national titles on his resume at the lower levels. I guess a couple in JUCO, one in the NAIA. What do you know about Craig?
Yeah, no, and listen, he's and of course I was in that league for 7 years, and watching them early on, man, they look like a completely different team, and they had good years when I was there when they were HBU and HCU. But the way they're playing right now, they're close, and they're really turning a corner. Obviously, he's trying to do similar to what we are and put his stamp on that program. You look at their last 3 games, I mean, they've been right there against good competition. I mean, they had a 12-point lead against Rice with 12 minutes left, a team in our league. So, and then their last game, they lose on a buzzer beater after being up 20. They're super aggressive. They play really downhill. They play free offensively. Then they cause problems defensively. They steal the ball too. And so, another one where it's good to learn after coming off a loss or coming off a win. But we've got a lot of work we got to do today. We got practice this afternoon, and it's going to be a heavy day of prep and understanding the things that they do really well. And Coach Doty will certainly have those guys ready to go when they show up.
Go ahead, Sean.
Coach, another area where you're among the best in the nation is fast break points. How do you feel about the pace your team's playing at and also your transition offense?
Well, listen, I'll tell you, I mean, it's great. It's great that we're up there. I would also say, we've had a couple of games where, we've had a bit too many because we've been down, which is it's easier to get your fast break points up when you're losing because you got to play faster. Now, with that being said, I do like the feel of our team to get out and run once we get stops. But I don't want to do that at the expense of, turning the ball over. We're turning it over way too much right now. We certainly want to play fast, but right now I feel like we're hurrying, right? And there's a difference there, and we've got to understand those things. I think, you look at, you talk about playing fast, but a lot of the times if the ball is moving fast, that's even better than your players moving fast, right? So we've got to be able to get down the court and get the ball moving, and then I think that the points and the efficiency will take care of itself.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, Yeah, Coach, wanted to ask about a couple of few of the guys that have not been in there. I know Jaquan and Paul are a little bit banged up right now. What is their status for tomorrow and upcoming?
Yeah, Paul's definitely out tomorrow. I think we'll get him kind of reevaluated here in the next week or two. Jaquan potentially, I'm actually about to head down there and see him. I know he was, hoping to maybe be limited tomorrow, but able to get in there and play a couple of minutes. So yeah, but both of those two are. Jaquan's more day to day than Paul is. I think Paul is looking, a little bit later in the month. But Jaquan, I know is, you can call him day to day ish. Certainly excited to get his production back and his intensity.
What about Scooter Joseph? Is he? Is that soon?
That's very soon. I mean, that's another one that is day to day. Again, I don't want to be wrong when I say this, but I maybe it's Arkansas. It's soon. It's very soon, and again, it could be any day. But obviously, he adds a boost to our team, an edge, and just kind of a spark. That I think it's a little bit. I feel what we've been lacking is what Scooter can bring with just his energy and his ability to make plays.
Anything else, Jerry?
No, sir. That's
Same
good.
for you, Sean. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you, Coach, for taking the time. And we'll face the Huskies on Saturday and then hit the road to California and Fayetteville. Thank you very much, everyone.
Birds up. Thanks.